A day on the slopes meant to make memories with family turned into a tragedy right before the holidays.
Mother of Sydney Ross, Karen Farron, is joining us to share her daughter's story, and I am glad to hear that she is doing much better. But will you take us back to what happened on the slopes with your daughter?
Every Christmas, for most every Christmas, we love to go skiing. We grew up skiing, and so we just had a day planned for skiing. It was a beautiful bluebird day, and we had gone a couple runs, and we were about on our third run, and we were on the crest Longhorn, I think it was Longhorn, Thunder Roll. Anyway, we were just enjoying a great run, and we were, I was a little ahead of my daughter. We were on a roller, and I had gone down the roller, and I had looked back, as you do, to kind of check pacing, and I had noticed she had fallen. And anyway, long story short, a group of skiers had come through a slow zone and a no jumping zone, disregarded both, speeded through that area and jumped the roller and collided with her. During that collision, she suffered a traumatic brain injury. I just want to put a shout out that Brighton Ski Resort Ski Patrol were amazing, and so grateful for many of the witnesses that had stopped and had come to her aid before the ski patrol had gotten there. It's just amazing how little tender mercies come popping in at really hard times. And wonderful nurse Anessa stopped and helped me and coached her through this as we had the ski patrol's help. And she was life-flighted to University of Utah, where she was given the most amazing care. And so, you go for a day skiing, you think that, we've skied all our lives, and until an injury happens, you don't even think about it. And so I'm just grateful to put a little awareness out there about ski and snowboarding awareness, and in the event of injuries.
Yeah, I can't imagine how scary going through all of this is and was. She's expected to make a full recovery, but being on the slopes and skiers doing things in zones they're not supposed to, talk about that, talk about the safety and what it means if you're not obeying the rules.
Right. I just think it's important, just like on roads, we need to obey the laws of, slow zones and things like that, that when we're skiing, we need to pay attention. This was an area where it was a slow zone and no jumping zone. Both were disregarded. And it did end up being a hit and run where the individual did not stop. And I think it's important too, none of us anticipate an injury, and I don't think we never mean for things to happen as an accident. And I think it's important though to put awareness out there that if we are in the event of an injury or an accident or a collision, it's so important to stop and make sure the person is okay and take due responsibility for what happens on the slopes as well, because we are in a sport that is susceptible to injuries. We've got speed, we've got multiple people around us, just like on the roads, and it is important that, one, we know that we could be at risk, but also if it does happen in the event, how important it is to stop and do our Good Samaritan of stopping and taking responsibility of things like that. But
Karen, I think that's what's most astounding and heartbreaking, is that this was a hit and run and this person did not stop, and here's your daughter in ICU, and maybe there was a moment that you weren't sure she was going to make it. And that is really tough and we're still looking for the person who's responsible. And I think, again, you don't intend for this to happen, but a really hard reminder.
Yeah. The good news is she's going to make a full recovery. It has shifted the things that she can do for a year. But as long as, she fits within that year, she's going to make a full recovery. Has it shifted her ability for what she's going to be able to do for the next year? It has. But it's life, and we're going to work through that. But it would be nice, for sure, to have people that, it's important that we take responsibility on the slopes in the event that we ever have something that we don't expect.
A crucial reminder, and you say stay alert, plan ahead. There's so much that goes into it. We need this reminder, and of course, if you do have any information, still looking for that person.
Yeah.
Yeah, please call that number, Unified Police, and also just keep an eye out and notify police of anything that you might have saw on that day, December 16th. Thank you so much, Karen, and thank you for being a friend
and
of
I think
Good
it's
Things
important that we
Utah.
still have a great time. We go with the intent to have a great time, but in the event, just know there's going to be great care, but also do our due diligence of being responsible.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, and we're so glad that she's going to make that
She's going to be great.
recovery.
She's an amazing young woman.
Oh, so much love to her. Thank you. And we will be right back with more GTU.